The Black Flame cult, shrouded in secrecy and steeped in the darkest corners of esoteric belief, is a society born from apocalyptic obsession. Rooted in the notion that humanity's self-destruction is not only inevitable, but also a sacred duty, the cult has fascinated and horrified outsiders for centuries. It is said to trace its origins back to ancient Mesopotamian rituals, where fire was revered as both a creative and destructive force. Over millennia, the cult evolved, blending various elements of mysticism, prophecy, and nihilistic philosophy. Its doctrine proclaims that the apocalypse is not a catastrophe to be avoided, but a cosmic event to be embraced and hastened. The black flame, their central symbol, represents the consuming fire of annihilation, which they believe purifies existence and brings humanity closer to ultimate truth. The cult's followers regard the apocalypse as the culmination of divine will, the final liberation from the cycle of suffering, and a transformative act that will burn away the falsehoods of the material world. The origins of the Black Flame cult are cloaked in mystery, as its historical records are deliberately fragmented, written in cryptic languages, and scattered across the globe. Some scholars believe the cult first emerged during times of social collapse and upheaval, thriving in periods of chaos and feeding on humanity's collective fear of extinction. Ancient inscriptions suggest that the early cultists worshipped a pantheon of destructive deities, who they believed would rise from the ashes of a burning world to reward their faithful servants. These beliefs found fertile ground in societies that faced existential threats, such as plagues, famines, and wars. During the Middle Ages, whispers of the Black Flame cult spread through Europe as they were rumored to perform clandestine rituals involving sacrificial pyres and fire dancing ceremonies designed to invoke apocalyptic visions. Inquisitors seeking to root out heresy reported tales of robed figures gathering in desolate ruins, chanting hymns to the infernal pyre and pledging their souls to the blackened skies of the end times. What sets the Black Flame cult apart from other apocalyptic sects is not only its unwavering commitment to hastening the world's end, but also its sophisticated organizational structure. Unlike the chaotic image one might expect, the cult operates with a calculated precision that rivals modern-day intelligence agencies. At the core of their hierarchy is the High Council of Flames, a secretive body that oversees all cult activities and disseminates their doctrine. Beneath the council are regional cells, each led by a flame keeper, who acts as both a spiritual guide and an operational commander. These cells function autonomously, carrying out missions designed to destabilize societies, sow discord, and bring humanity closer to collapse. The cult's influence extends into various sectors, including politics, technology, and finance, as they believe that leveraging the tools of the modern world will accelerate its downfall. They have been linked to acts of cyber terrorism, environmental sabotage, and even engineered pandemics, all of which align with their apocalyptic agenda. The theology of the Black Flame cult is as intricate as it is disturbing. Central to their belief system is the idea that the material world is a prison, a flawed and corrupted plane of existence that must be destroyed to reveal a higher, purer reality. They view human civilization as an affront to the natural order, a hubristic attempt to impose order on chaos. To the cult, every act of destruction is a sacred rite. Every fire lit a prayer to the abyss. They revere a collection of apocalyptic texts known as the Infernal Codex, which they claim contains prophecies and instructions for bringing about the end times. Written in a language said to be revealed in fiery visions to the cult's earliest prophets, the Codex describes a series of 7 great infernos, cataclysmic events that will culminate in the complete annihilation of the world. These include plagues of fire, the collapse of global economies, and the eruption of ancient volcanoes long thought dormant. Each of these infernos, they believe, is a necessary step in humanity's purification and rebirth. The cult's rituals are equally unsettling, blending theatricality with an almost fanatical devotion to their cause. Initiates undergo a baptism of fire, during which they must walk barefoot across burning embers to demonstrate their faith. The most devout members, known as bearers of the flame, are marked with intricate burn scars that form the cult's sacred symbols, a rite they refer to as the Seal of Ash. Their ceremonies often involve elaborate pyrotechnic displays, where flames are manipulated to form eerie, otherworldly shapes, which they claim are manifestations of their infernal deities. During the Night of Embers, an annual gathering held in remote, secluded locations, members perform mass rituals designed to channel destructive energy into the world. These events often culminate in acts of arson, explosions, or other violent disruptions, which are seen as offerings to the apocalypse. Witnesses who have stumbled upon these rituals describe them as both mesmerizing and terrifying, a macabre dance of light and shadow that leaves behind an overwhelming sense of dread. Over the centuries, the Black Flame cult has adapted to changing times, embedding itself in the shadows of modern society. In the 20th century, they found new opportunities in the rise of industrialization and global conflict. Cult operatives infiltrated factories, tampered with machinery, and orchestrated disasters that led to massive casualties, all in the name of hastening humanity's demise. During the Cold War, they sought to exploit nuclear tensions, viewing atomic weapons as the ultimate embodiment of their apocalyptic vision. Declassified intelligence documents from various nations contain cryptic references to a cult of fire, suspected of sabotaging missile tests and spreading disinformation to escalate geopolitical conflicts. In the digital age, the cult has embraced new technologies, using encrypted networks to recruit members, spread propaganda, and coordinate attacks. They have even been linked to the development of malicious software designed to target critical infrastructure, such as power grids and water systems, in a bid to sow chaos on an unprecedented scale. Despite their horrifying ambitions, the Black Flame cult has proven remarkably adept at evading detection and maintaining their secrecy. Part of their success lies in their ability to exploit the human tendency to dismiss extreme beliefs as fringe lunacy. By cultivating an image of myth and exaggeration, they have managed to operate under the radar, their true scale and influence obscured by a veil of skepticism. However, those who have investigated the cult in depth warn that they are far more organized and dangerous than they appear. Journalists and researchers who delve too deeply into the cult's activities often face harassment, threats, or worse. Some have disappeared without a trace, fueling speculation that the cult has an extensive network of enforcers willing to silence dissent by any means necessary. The Black Flame cult's apocalyptic vision extends beyond the physical destruction of the world. It also encompasses the psychological and spiritual disintegration of humanity. They believe that by plunging society into chaos, they can strip away the illusions of morality, identity, and order that bind individuals to the material world. In their view, the apocalypse is not merely an external event, but an internal awakening, a realization of humanity's insignificance in the face of cosmic forces. This nihilistic philosophy has a hypnotic appeal to those disillusioned with modern life, drawing in recruits who feel alienated, powerless, or resentful. The cult preys on these vulnerabilities, offering a sense of purpose and belonging to those who embrace their doctrine. For many, the allure of the Black Flame lies in its promise of transcendence through destruction, a chance to be part of something larger than themselves, even if it means tearing the world apart. The question of how to combat the Black Flame cult remains a complex and daunting challenge. Governments and law enforcement agencies face significant obstacles in identifying and dismantling the cult's cells, given their decentralized structure and advanced operational tactics. Counter-cult experts emphasize the importance of education and awareness, arguing that exposing the cult's true nature is the first step in undermining its influence. However, the deeply entrenched secrecy of the Black Flame cult makes such efforts exceedingly difficult. Even those who manage to escape the cult report feeling haunted by its ideology, as if the flames they once worshipped continue to burn within their minds. In the end, the Black Flame cult stands as a chilling reminder of humanity's capacity for self-destruction. Their apocalyptic vision, while horrifying, taps into a primal fear that has lingered in the human psyche for millennia. The fear that our world is fragile, fleeting, and ultimately doomed.